Reading files in Perl. Let's see how to read a file in Perl. This we have already discussed. The open function is used to get a file handle in Perl. Now for reading a particular file, this is the syntax of the open function. The first argument is the file handle, the second argument is a less than symbol, and the third argument is the file name. There are different syntax for this open function, but this three argument open function is the preferred one. We'll discuss why this three argument one is the preferred one over the two argument open function in the upcoming slides. Let's look at this program which tries to read a file, which reads a file by name test file, and it prints the contents of the file using a while loop. Here, this particular program has certain drawbacks. As you can see, if the input file does not exist, this program will fail. Also, if the user does not have the permissions to read a file, even in that scenario, this particular program fails. And the worst part of it is, it does not provide any information to the user if the open function fails. So how to tackle this? We have already discussed about the error handling mechanisms in Perl. That is the warn and the die functions. Let's see how warn will help us to figure out the issues with the previous program. Here what I have done is I have changed the program with an if else loop, where in the if part I try to open a file. If it doesn't succeed, then I'm throwing a error message or a warning message to the user saying like there is some problem with the file. These are the different outputs. If everything is fine, it prints the content of the file. Say if there is a issue with the permissions, then it throws this message. And say if the file does not exist, it throws the final message. Here we are in the warn function. If you see, we are using a variable by name $! This $! Contains the operating system error. So what does I mean by this? If the open function fails, then the whatever error it has encountered, that error will be contained in the $! So by displaying this message to the user will know the exact problem why the program has failed. Let's see how to tackle the same problem, the issues which we have seen earlier with the die function. The die function we have already discussed. Unlike warn, it exits at the place where it is being called. So as you can see here, we say open, we try to open the file, we try to get a file handle, and if it fails, we call the die function with the message to the user saying that we are not able to open the file. And the error messages will remain same even in this case. If everything is fine, it prints the file content. If the user does not have the permissions, it says okay, permission denied at so and so line in the file in the input script. And if the file does not exist, it says no such file or directory in so and so place in the script. This is about die function. Let's see how to read a file. There are different ways that you can read a file. The first way is you read the complete content of the file into an array. This is how it can be done. You take the file name, you open it using a file handle. Of course, here I have not written written the error handling mechanisms. I'm reading the content of the file into an array here. The array by name mylines. So by this you can get the complete content of the file into an array. Do you see any drawbacks with this method? Yes. See, if your file size is more than the process size, then you will end up with an out of a memory message. So this is not the ideal for all the situations. You, the user has to take a call when to use this particular way of reading a file. The next approach is to read the complete file as a whole into a scalar. So here $/ is a variable which contains the file record separator. If you directly call my $file scalar equal to within the brackets $fh, it just reads one line because it considers $/ which by default is a new line character and it ends there, so it reads only one line in a file. To avoid this, we need to undefine that, then it reads the complete content into the scalar. So if you want to read paragraph by paragraph, then set this variable to empty string, then it will consider a blank line as a separator in this case. This is the second way of reading a file. And the last and the most preferred way of reading a file is reading it line by line. Here we are using a while loop. As I said earlier, if $/ is not undefined, you'll be reading one line at a time. So here we read one line at a time, then it iterates in the while loop and reads each and every line till it reaches the end of the file. So these are the different forms of reading a file. In the next session, we'll see how to write to a file using Perl programming. Thank you.